Sometimes there's discussion that people have, and what they do is they want to know how they should live. And in terms of how we should live, there are different instructions for different people who are at different points in their journey. And the whole idea of how we should live comes to a place where the question is, who are you in the Lord? And a lot of how people live is very analogous and very similar to how a family runs. And when people are in areas of responsibility, like you're a father or a mother, the way that you're supposed to live is very different than if you are a very young child. And even in the development of childhood, when you are a child, the responsibilities that you have at 2 or 3 years old are very different than the responsibilities that you have at 7 or 8 years old, or even the responsibilities that you have at 14, 15, 16 years old. Because it's kind of assumed that the older that you get, the closer you are moving to independence and to maturity and to being a person who doesn't simply take care of the most basic parts of what your responsibility are, but that you become more and more responsible to integrate into the society and to integrate into the family and being those who are helpful. I remember when I had a daughter who was significantly older than her 2 younger sisters. She was about 5 years older than the next oldest child, who was about within 2 years of her next sister. And when my wife needed help, she would turn to the oldest of the 3 sisters and say, "Take care of this." And my oldest daughter knew that there was responsibility, that because of who she had been in the family, she was going to end up helping with one of her younger sisters. And this is just kind of the way that it works in a family, but this is also similar to how it works in the kingdom of heaven. And in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, Rav Shaul writes, he said that not all things are beneficial. And as he's expressing himself in this passage, he's talking about the fact that a lot of people are concerned about being legalistic about what they should and shouldn't do. And often, instead of taking a look at their world by going, who should I be? They're going, is this lawful or not lawful? And in a sense, it's an immature question to ask whether something is lawful or not. And as you grow and as you mature, what you're looking for is you're looking to understand the great scheme in which you live in. And as Shaul writes, not all things are beneficial, he's taking those who used to live according to the I got to do good, I got to do bad, I got to do this, I got to do that, I've got to end up being a person who ends up doing what isn't going to get me in trouble. And Shaul is going, no. I want you to understand that as you are working out your spirituality, as you are working out your life, it's not a matter of you worrying about me. It's not a matter of the whole world revolving around what's good for me. Instead, what you have going on is at that point in time, you are starting to be outward focused, not inward focused, but outward focused. And so the encouragement is to not look at your life as something that you're living simply for yourself, which is exactly what a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old would think. A child of that age is mostly focused upon themselves. But Shaul, as he's writing in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, is going, your responsibility as you grow in faith, as you grow in getting to know Messiah, your responsibility as you grow is that you are starting to be concerned for others. And so as you live your life, the encouragement is this: take a look and watch and see what it looks like if you live a life where your life is a point of concern for those around you. Don't live your life simply to be concerned for yourself. Don't live your life concerned about whether or not you're going to get a speeding ticket, but instead live your life in a fashion whereby you understand the impact that you have on others. And just like in a family, the older children understand that they are an extension of what their parents have put into them and grown them up towards, to the point where when they are teenagers and the parents turn to them and look and say, this is who you're supposed to be, in the same fashion, if you've been walking with God for a while, if the Spirit of God has coached you, and if there are things that you have learned about what it is that you are supposed to be, at some point in time, you're supposed to look at this and go, I am here for the purpose of being a person who is going to help others. So the life that you live, ultimately, as you grow towards the Lord, the good that you do is intended to be a good that impacts others. And part of maturity is coming to an understanding that you have significance, you have weight, you have wisdom, you have understanding, and are impactful on other people. And as you are impactful on other people, there is a knowledge that we are not all impervious to each other, but we are instead a people that, because we live in a specific way, God is working, God is moving, and God is using those who have been walking with him for a longer period of time to encourage those who have been walking with him for a shorter period of time. And if you are a person who has been walking with the Lord for quite some time, but you don't recognize the impact, the fruitfulness, and who you happen to be, on a certain level, there is the invitation to you to up your game. Not to up your game because you're going to get in trouble if you don't up your game. Not to up your game because there is punishment for those who are lax and lazy, but to up your game simply because the kingdom of heaven needs older brothers, needs older sisters. The kingdom of heaven needs people who are looking at who God is and who are being transformed by their impact of being present with him. And the kingdom of heaven needs people who are going to encourage those who are young and who are brand new in the faith. This is all excellent. This is what we're called to. And this is an aspect of walking with the Lord that can't be put together in 15 minutes. But this is an aspect in walking with the Lord that the more you're concerned about what God is concerned about, the greater the impact is that you can have on the world around you. Shalom.